Hey guys, I wanted to jump on a live stream because I've never actually done a live stream with YouTube Live yet and doing any Logic tutorials on YouTube. So I wanted to just take the chance to do that. I'm producing a song for a client here, and I thought it could be interesting to go over some things that I'm producing, and we can walk through them. Feel free to jump in the chat and ask questions. I'll try to treat this as like a kind of a work in process video. I'll do a bit of tutorial / me just working so you can see things I'm doing, and feel free to ask any questions in the chat and I'll try to answer them all about Logic or producing, and we can get through them and try to see. I'll try to help out the best I can and see if we like these kind of live videos. I haven't done many of these before, but I would be interested in doing them more because I think you can get the real workflow of how a producer works and how they come up with ideas, because I think that's a lot of, it's hard to find those types of tutorials on YouTube where you see a producer actually work in action and how it actually goes down. So thanks for joining the chat, Dat Girl, Mina, and Tyler. Nice to see you guys in the chat. This is really cool. So I will just pop out the chat window and get things going here in Logic, show you what I'm working with, and can have some fun. So yeah, feel free to anyone just joining in to ask questions in the chat about how I'm producing this song, and I'll show you in a second, and any Logic questions that you might have. Let's get into it. Okay, so here I am in my DAW in Logic, and this is the song I've just been working on this morning. I'm in Berlin, by the way. It's about 5 p.m. my time. Not sure where everyone else is in the channel. Where are you guys located? Is it really like early morning for you, or are you finished work, or hope everyone's also safe and healthy with this quarantine. In Berlin, we are going back into quarantine this week. Okay, let's just man. All right, let's just do this quick question before we jump in. I'll give you a preview while I think of that answer to the question, Dat Girl, and then we can get into it. So this is the preview of the song I'm working on right now. Fairly simple right now. We have just about an intro verse, pre and a chorus, and what I'd like to do in this live video is produce this song up a little bit more, just throw ideas at it, really not worrying too much about the mix or like the quality of the sound in a way. Like I just want to get ideas out there and just throw spaghetti at the wall, see what sticks. If you have ideas in the chat, let's get them out there and let's just try throwing anything at it, anything you can think of, and then we'll pick and choose the things we like, and then we can kind of go through it layer by layer. What's good, what's bad, throw the bad out and keep what's good, and then dive deep on the good and make the good better by doing some kind of mixing production techniques. But I won't do really any mixing in this video at all. I'll like more of that mixing production stuff. Okay, so to answer your question, that's interesting. Like if you're not a musician and you're watching this video, like I welcome you just to stay and grab a coffee and enjoy kind of this music production video. But if you, Mina, you are you're not personally a music artist, but you want to maybe get into music, what's one thing I would say to people who want to be artists is to find out if it's within the music industry, to find out what you really like within the music industry, and then first start with that, because to be a musician or to be an artist, it's not just about singing songs and performing them. There's a lot you can do within the music industry, whether that's producing songs like what we're going to do today, or being an artist manager, or being an artist booker. There's a lot of things you can do within that world. So thanks for joining the chat, everyone who's coming in right now. I'm super happy you guys are joining. Oh, wow. Awesome, Josie, that you made a music video inspired by you. I'd love to see that. Post it in a comment maybe later in one of my videos so I can take a look at it. Would love to check it out. I'm very curious to hear the kind of music you guys are producing, and how my tutorials so far, specifically the Logic tutorials that I've made, how they are affecting your music production skills. I don't have that feedback really, which is why I'd like to start these live videos, so I can see from you and I can get feedback from you on what you'd like to know and what you'd like to learn, and we can do this. We can work through questions you have. I mean, I'm producing songs every day, and I would be happy to jump on here and talk through questions that you guys are working on with music production and songwriting. We can write songs from scratch, and I'm really excited to do that. So thank you for following. Ace, thank you for just following me. I was supposed to have like this little guy jump up on the window when someone subscribes, so I'm not sure if that worked. We'll have to get that fixed out for the next live video. So let's first take a look at the chorus here, and I'm going to just kind of go through things a little bit to see what I like and then what I don't like right now. Okay, so it hits really hard right before the pre. That's because we haven't built up the pre enough. It just comes in. I was just starting to build some claps and snares. That's why I muted this section right before this video. And so we'll probably want to build up more in the pre, so the chorus isn't just too much in your face, because right now there's just like, you can see visually even, there's way too many tracks coming in here. So I like this vocal sample here. So I'll probably move that vocal hook in over here and have it like come in. So, oh, by the way, I just put this Pro L limiter on. Not a really good idea to do, but I just did that right now because I noticed that our output was like a little low, and I just want to make sure you guys can hear that on the live stream. So yes, I mean, Ace, I will definitely do some more vids on mixing probably later on, but I'd like to I mean, what actually, that's a good question for me, just for you guys. What's your like high level topics? What would you say you're lacking in most and that you need to learn most? Like I'll give you 4 options: songwriting, production, mixing. Actually, I'm only going to give you 3 options. So songwriting, production, and mixing. If you had to choose one of those that you're lacking the most in, I'd be curious to get your answers in the comments right now to see, or sorry, in the chat to see what you're missing or what you'd like to learn more of. Mixing and mastering. So that's definitely really, really important pieces to getting your song finished. I would say that's probably like a good like 30 to 40% of the whole pie. Mixing and mastering is things you want to really, really get strong at. And then I would say songwriting and production is the other 70%. So if you're really strong on that 70%, then we can definitely do some mixing and mastering. And but I would like to focus, because I haven't done so many videos on the songwriting and production part. I'd like to, and that's more what I do anyways. So I will do, I'll do a mix of it all, but we can get we can cover everything. So let's, what I'm going to do now is build up this pre. I'll focus on the top line, like these vocal hooks, these melodies, and then we can get into chucking more top line melodies on to try to fill it up. And obviously the drums are thin, so we can add more percussion. The bass sounded all right for now. So let's take a first look at just bringing this pre-melody, this melody, vocal melody into the pre. So I can hold command or option on my keyboard and make a copy of this by dragging it over. So it's just like hold down option, click your mouse, drag it, let go of your mouse, and let go of option. So now I have this exact same copy of that vocal melody here. And I think I will want to probably automate it in a little bit by doing like a EQ automation or volume automation. So it's not exactly the same. Like it would just be too loud if it was here. See, it's way too loud. That volume is probably good in the chorus. So what I'll do is I'll press A on my keyboard. Oh, I already have a volume automation. So that's good then. I don't need that. I can just lower that. Oh yeah, I did this earlier. Great. So we can just walk through this. So this, let's see, because I copy that and delete it. I'll show you, I'll walk through what I'm doing here in a second. So this is an EQ. Yeah, it's on. So this is a high cut frequency. So if I open up my EQ here, you'll see what's happening in real time if I solo the vocal sample. This is the vocal sample signal coming in here. And now that band is opening up. So it's probably too low. Do something more. I'm going to delete this one here. Something more like this. It's too high. So I'm just playing with this kind of band right here. This band here. Okay, that's good enough for now. It's always better to listen to that kind of stuff in context. Let me just look at the chat here. Oh, wow, you're 12. You're so young. That's awesome. You have so much of the world ahead of you. Congratulations. I mean, that's really inspiring that you're on YouTube watching this music production channel. You have so much time. And what I would do is just follow what you like to do and go and have tunnel vision and focus on those things. So practice so much whatever you like to do. So let's listen to this vocal sample in context. See how it's really behind now because we're taking all of that high end out. It's a bit loud there. So it's just a little bit loud because the signal also increases there. So I'll just dip it to about 390 to 675. And just curve it a little bit more. Actually, it's fine. Not these are just subtle things. And I will, because there's a lot of tail reverb on this. See if I soloed that. I want to make sure that there's, I don't want that highness there. So I will really just take it down until the chorus hits. Yeah, it's better. Yeah, it's good. Okay, that chorus probably needs to happen for another bar. Just feels too short. So I'm going to make copies of this right now and extend the vocal sample. So the whole song is built around this guitar loop. Which is kind of like a chill indie pop vibe. And this is a guitar loop that was made from a friend of mine, actually. His name's Adam Wendler, and he's also an artist. So this is like, this whole song can be built around this loop, and we'll, just keep building ideas. So I'd like it to start very, like if we look at this song like bird's eye view, these would be our main sections and our markers here. Actually, this is not a verse because we extended the chorus. We'll bump the chorus. So we had these three chunks you can kind of look at, like if we're taking a bird's eye view. And like I'll probably want to start with this guitar, one bar guitar, bring something else in to keep it interesting, like this cheerful melody or something else. Then we'll want to bring another piece, something to catch the listener here, and then we'll bring like the chorus in. I don't have a like top line vocal melody or lyrics for this song yet. So far it's just an instrumental, but this is for someone else to build a top line vocal and instrumental. So we have to also keep in mind, if we're not building the vocal top line now, that we can leave space for that. It's very easy if you're building a song first without a vocal melody. The vocal takes up so much space anyway, so if you're listening to a song without a vocal, it's already going to sound a bit bare. So thanks for everyone who joined the chat and joining the live stream so far. If you're just joining in, I'm just kind of working through this song I've been building this morning, and throwing ideas at it. Really, this video is titled, actually, what did I title it? I think I titled it, producing a song. Okay, so we are producing a song. We're not like focusing on mixing. We're not focusing on mastering right now. We're really, producing really means, maybe you have a song where it's just like a guitar, vocal, or a piano and vocal, and then you build on top of that. Or, in music producing can also mean like, I have this electric guitar loop, and now I want to build a song around this loop. So we're gonna pile more stuff on it. Okay, so let's now look at, so we have this vocal sample idea. Let's leave that in there. Let's look at these synths it was just made. This is kind of synth melody. Kind of like a whistle synthy thing with a lot of echo on it. Okay. So now just let me, thank you, Michelle. Am I pronouncing your name right? Sorry if I'm massacring that. But thank you so much for watching the videos. Hello, SG Music. Nice to see you here. And everyone else joining the chat. And awesome to have you guys in here. Let's start building this song together. Do you guys have any ideas of how you might go about producing this song? This is also a good time for you to we can bounce ideas off each other. I can let you know what I think of the ideas, and I can try your ideas. That would be really cool. kind of collaboration we can do. So, but Mina, you had another question. What made me want to get into music? Well, I was just really into music. I love playing music. I'm actually a singer-songwriter full time. I'm on Spotify and I have my own music and I perform. But this year I've been producing a lot more because of the pandemic, and so I just got into music just because I really, really like to play and perform music, and that's just something I love. Okay, so I really like that melody more in the chorus here. These melodies here, they're more or less the same, but I think it would be better if it was just a rip of this, but not having them come in, cutting it here. So I'm just quickly cutting that. I have the third tool as the scissors in Logic. You can do that. You can change that if you want to in settings. And then I'll automate that, I think, again. Do like a volume automation. Something. You have it like really, really behind in the mix when it comes in on the verse. There's two main things you can do to make your track sound further behind in the mix. One is to add like reverb and delay and that kind of thing, and the other is just like to turn down the volume. So in this automation track, I've turned down this melody to -22, and then in the chorus it's back up to -8 or 9. Okay, let's listen to this in context. Okay, that sounds cool. This part of the vocal sample I don't really like there anymore. I'm wondering if it can just be this again. I found it just was fighting with this. I'll show you what I mean. Maybe not so much. Maybe it's more this part here. I don't want that leading into the chorus. I want the space for these sweeps here. Without that chorus melody lead in. So I'm just going to delete that MIDI note there by cutting it out and deleting it. So it sounds like more of a drop, I guess you could say. Yeah, Michelle, we can definitely work on something together. I mean, online collaboration is makes it super, super easy. That's so funny, Ricardo. Well, thanks for coming to jump into the live stream. Yeah, I remember I did a video on Flowkey last year. I was checking out their piano learning software, and so thanks for coming to stumble on some music productions videos. Yeah, it'd be cool to get like just a quick pulse on everyone watching or the main subscribers of my channel. Like, are you more into GarageBand or Logic? That would be really cool. If I were just to collect some data a little bit, that would be cool to see what people are using GarageBand more or using Logic. Please, let me know in a comment right now. And Kenny, I've watched Why Logic Pro Rules. I've also watched tons of other YouTube videos. on Logic. There are a ton. I mean, myself alone, like, it really, I think they're all really good. It really depends on, like, for me, go with whoever you can learn the best from, or whoever, what teaching style you like, and also style of music. Like, some Logic creators or Logic tutorial guys and girls are like teaching more like in the box trap beats. Some people are doing indie pop stuff. Some people are doing rock stuff. So if you're like a rock guitarist, you might want to find someone who teaches more rock band stuff. Okay, cool. So it sounds like GarageBand is a game. Yeah, GarageBand can kind of seem like a bit gamey, a bit childish sometimes, but it's honestly, it is super powerful. I started with GarageBand, and that's where I got my addiction for music production. And now I'm in Logic just because once you start using GarageBand, as I'm sure you guys know, like eventually it just becomes limiting in some factors, which is why you need to use Logic. The GarageBand, the math game. Is it a math game? That's news to me. I'm not sure. Yeah, it can be super limiting. Okay, let's get keep the comments coming though. I like it. I'm sorry I'm getting a bit distracted. So what was I even doing? Oh yeah, I was working on this automation here. You can hear, like, if you think while you're listening to this in your headphones, just think of a melody in your head. Like I was just humming things. There's so much space for a vocal melody, so we don't want to like overload it with more melody, right? But let's try to like get more things on it to find cool sounds. Like maybe this whistly sound isn't the right sound, but maybe the melody is right, so we can use the MIDI but just change the sound. Yeah, that's awesome, Ace. I mean, you can totally do that nowadays. You can really do a lot of genres. I would also, like, at the beginning, focus on one, get really good at that, and then like you'll find that the doors just open a lot faster to the other genres. Okay, so right, I duplicated a pad kind of melody here. What's this? This is a retro synth called Access Codes. It's the same MIDI as this cheerful. It's just a bit loud. So that just adds some space. It would be cool to have that as like a stereo image. So we can add a quick automation here and stereoize. Actually, we could also just duplicate tracks. There's a couple ways you can do this. The quick and easy way, just to get the idea, is to Command D this track and drag these down and just pan them off. This is a lot wider now. I'm not sure where you're listening to it, if you're on headphones or it's much wider. Too loud, but let's leave it like that for now. Keep in mind when we panned it there, we also panned it in the first part, so we could actually just automate that. Let's just say if it's at 0, we want to pan it to the left. So I believe is it negative 60? Yeah, okay. Negative 64. All right, so now it's coming in like up the middle in the verse pre, and then it's going to pan out for the chorus. Okay, let's get some more melodies, ideas on there. The guitar is good. The bass, let's just check up on the bass. Okay. Pretty simple bass right now. We could even arpeggiate that. That could be cool. Let's just throw an arpeggiator down there, MIDI effects, just to see what it's like. So that's in under MIDI effects on the channel. These are like different, MIDI effects. And I just threw that arpeggiator down and it just did this to the signal. This is a 1/16. Chop that down to 1/8 triplet or 1/8. I kind of liked 1/16. It was cool, right? Seems a little much. Maybe the pattern can change. Maybe we can make a new pattern. Let's try. So I'm clicking these now, and you can make a pattern of your own, like clicking these off. Maybe that's a bit better. So I think something like this could be cool. And then inside that space, we can add something else. The drums are a bit bare. Halftime that. Any recommendations to get better at making beats? Oh, sorry, man, missing out on the chat party here. Wow. I'm from Canada actually, so, but I'm actually living in Berlin right now. I've been here weathering the storm over the global pandemic. So where are you guys from? Anyone from Germany or from Canada or from the United States? Represent your weathering the storm country of the global pandemic. Recommendations to get better at making beats or songs, anything. Make a lot of them. Like, what I would recommend is my second recommendation to that, so it's a bit more specific. Like, don't go into a session and just say to yourself, I have to come out of the session with a beat or a song, and then do that every day for at least a month, or if you can do that for a year. The sound, it's kind of definitely chill R&B sound, this one. Anyone have any vocal melody ideas or lyrics? What is the first kind of title lyric that you hear when you're thinking of this vibe? Germany. Well, Kenny, welcome. I mean, we're in the same country. That's same time zone. Well, I think the entire country is in the same time zone, right? It's small enough, I think. It's not like Canada where I have like a sibling that's in like I think 5 hours away because the country's so big. Arizona, welcome. Nepal, wow, that's crazy. Welcome. England, London, New York. Did I see Alabama? Or was that just my brain? 2 hours away from Berlin. Awesome. We're super close. Nothing But the Glory is my favorite song right now. Wow, that's really cool, man. NT Romero. that's one of my songs, and that means a lot. So really, really appreciate that. Thank you very much. It's definitely was a lot of fun making that. Yeah, I was thinking when the beat drops, it should be a little less harsh. Definitely, I think I agree. It just comes in too hot right now. I think, yeah, too hot. I mean, like too harsh. You're totally right on that. It's slamming you in the face too much, and it needs to be like either come down a little bit for the pre, and then hits hard again in the chorus, or we build up a bit more of the pre. I think it's partly because the bass is in the chorus. Maybe we can add bass. Let's add some snaps now in the pre, and work filling out the drums a bit. I think we're definitely missing some hi-hats too. Switzerland, welcome. A Spade, Canada, cool. That's really cool. Yeah, Kenny, are you a musician? Are you a producer? That's also a good question from NT. Michelle, when you're mixing, should you do it on headphones or speakers? Doesn't matter. What does matter is like when you're like, never finish a mix unless you are have listened to it on speakers and headphones. That's what I think is more important. I often mix like on headphones for a couple hours, and then I switch when my ears start hurting because these headphones are super tight, and then I'll switch to speakers, and then I'll go back and forth. But like if you want to sit outside in the sun and mix on headphones, like totally cool. All right, let's just work on some snaps here. That's what I was doing before, but it was actually a clap. So we can open up our drum. I'm using the drum machine designer for this one. Oh, that's weird. It fell down here. And these are just different samples here. So we can go to our library and find a clap sample there, or I can just go to my sample library on my own. And my files here. My file library. And just look for a clap sample or snap. I'm looking for kind of something snappy. So let's go samples here. Yeah, I got a lot of samples, as you can see. This is one of my what do you say? Yeah, New Year's resolutions, I guess you could say, to organize all my samples, just because it's getting way too out of hand. Wow, that's super loud. Let's just work with that. More for the, not too worried about the sound. More the idea. That's how I like to do it. I believe we're in D minor, so I'll just drop that down to D5. And then I will draw it in, or I think, yeah, let's just draw it in. We can also just get the clap MIDI, because it's the same thing. Wow, that was pitched down. Oh, I see what's happening. So because I did it in the right key in the sampler, but I grabbed the clap MIDI, it now sounds really low, so I have to open that up and just take all these MIDI notes and bring it up to the root key over here. So I'm going to go Shift Option up. Sorry, it's that loud. That's loud in the headphones. Sorry. Let's just turn this down. It's better. Yeah, see, that arpeggiator just sounds wrong right now. It's funny how ideas can sometimes sound great, and then when you listen to them again, they sometimes just sound terrible. And that's what I mean, how I produce music is just getting the ideas out there and then coming back to them. I thought that arpeggiator sounded cool, but now I'm listening to it and it just sounds not cool. Okay. Come to Germany. Germany is awesome. There's a lot of music here. It's the country. It's the. I would say the. I've never lived in a country that has such a support system around live music. Before the pandemic in like 2019, I'd be playing open mics sometimes 6-7 times a week because there's just a lot of people go see live music. Okay, I'm kind of minus the guitar loop. Are you arranging stuff from your library, or have you recorded the project at all? Yeah, it's a good question, Ricardo. Mine about the I'm arranging this stuff. Everything. Yeah, I minus this guitar loop that I got from my friend. Actually, he's not sitting right here, but the guitar is, and we were just doing it. And I just recorded this stuff quickly on MIDI with my MIDI keyboard, and minus like some of these sweeps, and yeah, that's it. Everything is done MIDI. And I think it would be cool to do this again, maybe from scratch, like blank Logic template, and we'll start with like a loop or a fresh, and we can build a song from scratch, whether it's like writing a song, or we can also writing a song with a vocal melody, or writing a song without one. These comments are funny. You guys are funny. No, there's no spam. There's no spam in the chat. Actually, yeah, there can definitely be spam. But Kenny, don't worry, you're not spamming. You seem like a really nice person from Germany. Yeah, that snap is definitely. I think like when I hear the snap. I mean, want the snap in there. It's probably not the right sound, but something just maybe like. Or maybe like adding a wood block on there as well to have something a bit more upfront. But I agree, it's not a great sound. It does kind of sound like someone's clicking their mouth on their tongue. Yeah, totally. Get in on the knowledge. This chat is all about the knowledge. Let's call this the knowledge chat. And I'll try to spread some knowledge as well. Do you turn the bus volume up on the master? I'm not actually sure what you mean. So I don't actually turn the bus. I don't do any bussing on the master channel, but like if I was to bus out this on the snap, if I was to bus out some reverb there, that would go to the the aux channel, which is this channel on the right here. It's a church style, like a big Gothic church cathedral. It's the Valhalla vintage verb with a 4-second decay. So pretty big reverb. G-switch. Man, this chat is awesome. Yeah. I'm just going to skip through. You guys can just chat away. I'll crack away at this song, and then we can get back to some questions if you want. I can't see your hands. So yeah, you're right. You can't see my hands. I have hands, I swear. Imagine it was just like people like robots programming the whole song, and I had no hands. That would be pretty wild. That would be pretty wild. Okay, let's get on with it. Let's just see what Logic sounds are pretty good. I obviously, like you can see, I haven't installed a lot of them, but For the most part, I think they're pretty good. Maybe it's a bigger kind of clap. Also could be interesting. What happens if I just drag this in here? I have to open up the drum machine. I don't want to open them. Okay, I'm not going to fuss with too much with like searching for samples because that can take forever. And we'll just focus on the not the sounds, but the actual elements. All right, let's, well, we added the bass in there, so let's. That doesn't sound good. Oh, what happened? The whole drum kit. I'm gonna have to Command Z that a bit. Sorry about that. I changed the whole drum kit by accident. Definitely need some hi-hats, so let's add those in, or a shaker or something. Let's just add a quick shaker in. Something a bit softer. Let's just try that for now. All right, so quick and easy idea. What I'm gonna do is open up the editor here. Oops. And paintbrush tool. I'm gonna go 16th notes on the root key. Where's my root key? There it is. Yeah, how it says it, like why does it say it there? Well, it's because I'm referencing that from the drum machine designer, like the sampler. Like the sample of the shaker is D3 here, and that's why it's a D3 here. So command tool, paintbrush tool. Sounds like a machine gun kind of, doesn't it? Won't like go with that velocity, but let's just get the rhythm first. Okay, that's the right rhythm. You can do a quick little, just so it's not super annoying while we listen to it, just a quick little rhythm here. And so what I do here is I have velocity tool in my right click, and you can see all they're just at 100, so I might just drop these. I'm clicking and dragging on my right mouse. Just gonna loop that for a second. All right, and I can do Command R, and that like duplicates the whole thing. So I can do Command R a bunch of times for now. Just see. I mean, it's better than what it is. So just leave it like that. Command R. Oops, that was the wrong thing. And Command R. And we'll have it stop at 15 and then looped again here. All right. I'm sorry, I was getting distracted. I was reading the chat, the knowledge chat. Someone else throw in some knowledge. Sprinkle some knowledge in there. So I'll sprinkle some knowledge. What's one thing you wouldn't do? What's one thing you wouldn't do? What's what you wouldn't to do as an artist? I wouldn't. Man, I don't know. I wouldn't lose focus. Is that a cop out? I think the most important thing as anyone who wants to be successful is focus. Like, if you're gonna spend half an hour on Instagram, don't pick up Instagram and focus on like something that's a bit more productive. If you do that 100 times in 1 year, that's gonna help you out a lot. Oh yeah, that's true. I like to talk about music marketing, and I do a lot of videos about music marketing too. So we can sprinkle some knowledge in here and there as we're producing, because I was a marketer, like not a music marketer, but I was in tech marketing before I was a musician. So I have some experience there, and would love to drop some knowledge in our knowledge chat for you guys. So the best way to get your music noticed as an artist, I think, like, in short, would be to find the channels, like the social channels that have the most reach, organic reach. So what I mean by that is, like, I wouldn't focus a lot of your time on Instagram. I would focus a lot of your time, like, right now the best social channel for organic reach is TikTok, because you can still make a video and get, like, I don't know, it's not hard to get 10,000 views, like, it actually isn't that hard. It's really hard to get 10,000 likes on an Instagram post, and it's really hard to get 10,000 views on a YouTube video. It's actually not that hard. If you do like 10 videos for the next 10 days on TikTok and you really try to optimize on each one, it's not that hard to get 10,000 views. So I would focus on the organic channels. Go and tweet something on Twitter. Okay, 9NT. Thanks for joining in. That's true. Keywords are key. Maybe that's why they're called keywords. I'm sure they are. Okay. Yeah. Breaking limits as artists is the best thing that you can do. Break out of the conformity of everything else that's happening. Okay, so yeah, that's the right rhythm for the hi-hats. I think we still need some more like layering on the snares, like not like another snare even, or another. These snaps, still not a fan of the snaps sounds, but I like the idea of it. Okay, let's work on bass, guitar, vocal sample. Let's work on another melody. I have this melody pad here, by the way. What is this again? It's just a retro synth. Oof. I do not like that anymore. Let's change that. The sculpture synth has some cool pads. The distant air, I think. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Like super low. Sometimes that helps. And for stuff like this kind of vibe of a song where it's, I mean, this song is more, what do you call it? Like lo-fi, I guess. So you can add some crackle. I add these down here. It's just like vinyl dust. And this is like a pretty old school, I guess, way to do it, because you can get some cool plugins now. I think one, like the RC30 plugin, is one where you can actually do that on the actual track itself. So yeah, I think I'm gonna eventually get that. Cool. So I'm just gonna bring up the keys and just mute this atmospheric stuff, because sometimes it's easy to get distracted with like adding atmospheric stuff. I think the atmospheric stuff, like these melodies and pads, and these crackle stuff, they're all helping the track, but it's more like icing on the cake. Like, we can't rely on these things to make the song sound better. We have to actually make the main elements sound good. So, and that would be in more of like, I try to break up my production stage in like this stage where it's getting everything out, getting all the crappy ideas out and seeing what sticks. And then the second stage for me is like, okay, now finding the right sounds of the ideas. And then the third stage is mixing. So you mentioned like Sensei's, oh man, sorry. How do you recommend in terms of getting better mixes? You have a lot of songs in your hard drive that aren't good enough. Well, I'd be curious to know, like, first, is it the mix in your hard drive that you think sounds poor, or is it the actual song itself? Like, sometimes for me, I get caught up in that too, where I'm like, man, this song like really sucks, and I'm like, why does it suck? Then I remember it's the songwriting, or it's my melody, or it's like my chord progression or something, where I sometimes get caught up in thinking it's just the mix, where I'm like, it's really not the mix a lot of the time. For me, the songs that I really liked, I found the mixing went so fast, and I was often curious why it went so fast. But that's because the song is good. When you have a good song, like when you can play a song on the piano or on the guitar, or have someone on the guitar play it for you, and it just sounds cool and catchy and good, then usually the mixing stage and the elements that you put onto that song, usually it should flow easier. Thanks, Elizabeth. Thanks for joining in the chat and sharing some of your experience so far. I'm super happy to hear that, and super happy to hear that these videos that I'm making, especially around Logic, are helping people. So lots more to come definitely this year in terms of some tutorials, and hopefully some more of these live videos if these are providing value, because that's, if it's providing value and people are taking some things from it, then cool. Let's keep doing them. Wow, thanks, Colin. I like how you spell your name too, Colin. I hope that's how you say it, but thank you very much. So okay, let's look at what we have here. So yeah, these were the stereo things here. Yeah, I have the keys. So Rhodes. That's nice. I wasn't really hearing that in just our demo here. So little stuff like mixing, leveling and stuff, that can be all done in the production stage. Cool. I think like some more guitar actually could be cool. Let's try this. Let's see how we can do here. I'll get my guitar. I enjoy the painting. MT, this difference between sound engineering and music production. I'm gonna grab my guitar. Actually, this is my friend Adam's guitar. And so, oh man. Okay, let's plug this in. I think some guitar would be cool, so I'm just gonna pluck a bit guitar. So how I add guitar is just go track, new audio track. Here's my guitar. And want to make sure I'm getting signal here. Yeah, I'm sure you can hear that. And I'll just tune that very quickly. Sorry about this. It's like when you're playing a show. Wow, it's super out of tune. Come on. Super awkward, I know, sorry. It's like, I'm not a fan when someone's playing a show and they're like, oh, gotta tune my guitar. And I'm doing it right now, so. That good enough for jazz. It's pretty out of tune, but I'm gonna be plucking, I'm not gonna be playing chords, so. And let's just find the key. Just gonna play with this right now. I'm gonna throw it on a loop at the top and then just record. What time is it in Germany? It's 6:23 p.m. So perfect time for some music production. But yeah, what's the difference between sound engineering and music production? Man, sound engineer I think is super sciencey to me. I'm not a sound engineer. I would never call myself a sound engineer, but I would call myself a music producer. I guess I think sound engineering is really someone who can really go deep on the specifics of like talking about sound in very specific terms. Like at 2500 hertz, we need to increase it by 0.5 dB, very like specific, and it can hear that stuff where music producers might not really focus on those specifics at all and more like the emotion and the feeling and the dynamics of the song. Okay, so I'm just gonna record a bit, just get some ideas out on the guitar. I have to figure out the key on the guitar and everything. This song is actually won't go public, probably. It's actually a song for a client, so they will make it public. All right, let's. Just gonna press R on my keyboard. So we figure out the key. Something like I'm looking for something small. Wow, was that guitar not coming in? Something small like that we can kind of put behind with a lot of reverb. Okay, so why wasn't that coming in? So you can see I took 2 tracks, and if I solo this, can we hear anything? So it is really coming in. I can bump up the signal. Wow, come on. So there it is. If I boost the signal. So the gain was set way too low, and I really thought I set it right. So I'm going to delete these takes, this comp folder, and just start over. Just reset the gain. Look at my inspector window on the left. Sounds super loud in my headphones. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay, something's not right. Can you guys hear that guitar? Oh, this sounds super, like, I think it might be a mix of my interface being used with OBS, and it's like messing up because I'm like full gain here and full volume. Let's just try this from scratch again, because that's not working. Oh, of course. Junior mistake here, guys. Forgot to set my inputs. Always set your inputs. I mean, I even have a tutorial about this. Oh, man. See, there you go. Sometimes you get too caught up in it, and you just forget these little things. Like, I have to set my inputs, of course. Okay. Duh. Come on. All right, let's do that again. Okay, I'm going to give you guys like 2 or 3 options of different guitars. Now I set the gain way too hot. It's coming in way too hot. Actually, that's not so bad. Okay, 2 options of guitar loops. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Get my click on. Oops, sorry about that. Now it's really bugging me. I'm super out of tune. Ugh. Okay, there's one. I think a mix of both of them actually, because the first one's a little more structured, the second one's a little sloppy. Something. So we can fix kind of those loud notes with some gain. And I like, so what I'll do is unpack these, export to, unpack to new tracks. Just gonna put my guitar down. I'm caught up in the wires. All right. So take one, take two. Oops. Oh, let's take one. Take two. So let's just fix that gain issue here. I mean, two ways to do it. We can just cut it here. It's the quickest way. And go to the region and just lower the gain, like clicking and dragging down. We could also open up flex pitch for the audio, for the guitar, and do it there, but that just takes a bit longer. I've gone quiet. Show high. What does that mean? Two more quiet. Oh, interesting. Chat. I guess I see different things on my side than you guys. The chat, because I'm the monitor or something. All right, let's get on with this guitar. It's still too loud. So I'm going to put some reverb on it, and I'm going to do a bit of delay. Just like a quarter delay. And really push it in the background. So you see what I mean in a second. A quarter delay. Oh man, I was doing it on the wrong channel. Just going to duplicate this channel because I was putting the effects on the wrong channel by accident. Going to put these down here, delete that channel, rename this channel. Just take one. Okay, now this should be better. It's cool. It's just too much. The mix is too much, so I don't want it to be that much. Echo. So I'll lower the mix knob and then lower the volume. It's way too loud. This one's pretty cool. Not that part. The first part is better. Maybe this part. So it's kind of like a quick comp. And I like this part here. Okay, so let's see what that sounds like. Sound better coming in here actually to fit with this vocal sample. Like part of producing, actually not part of, the main part of producing is making sure all the elements fit together. Because if I had this guitar part with this vocal loop, it just spaces things out a bit better if you have both of them together. I mean, that's also still cool, but it sounds a bit too messy to me. Yeah, I've actually tried Ableton. I have Ableton and I use Ableton, but I use Logic way more just because, I don't know, I think it's just the interface. I got used to it better, and yeah, I never stuck with Ableton. Simple, just like subjective personal choice. I think Ableton is super strong, especially when Logic didn't have these live loops here. Like now that Logic has live loops, it's really changed the game for Ableton, because Ableton was so powerful because it had this live loops feature. But now that Logic has it, it's super competitive now to Ableton. Okay, so those are the guitar ideas. Let's leave those now. Let's move on to like a cool synth idea. Let's just get rid of this track. Those takes, we can Command D backspace that. Yeah, right now I'm actually using the Scarlett Focusrite, the 2-channel interface. Great interface. And I'm in the studio right now at home. I use the Apogee interfaces, and looking actually to go into the Universal Audio interfaces soon as well, because I need to update my interface. Okay, so let's add. I just got to think of like something else. Actually, I just like these. Just these are cool enough. And I think you can double up with that sample. Just doing some subtle mix things there, because those frequencies just got annoying. I just cut those highs vocal frequencies down, but I'm not worrying too much about the EQ. More the guitar sound idea that I like. So I'm just going to keep those there and move on to synth. I think I'm like, eventually all these ideas won't be there in the end of the song, but I like to get it enough down to eventually choose the ones I like. So who knows, maybe we won't go with this guitar part, but at least we have that idea in there. And at the end, maybe we just want this part, and maybe we'll use that little section or this little region here as a transition piece or little notes here. So it's good to save those kind of things. You get the idea down, save it, and move on. Let's add Let's open up Alchemy and try something out here. So I can just duplicate this melody track, get that pan up, and I'll change this to a Alchemy Synth. Like, what kind of frequencies are we missing here? Sometimes that's also can give you some direction. So go to your stereo out track, put on a multimeter, metering, multimeter. So I could see, like, this is something I like to do. I mean, you don't have to necessarily do this, but looking at your total, all your frequencies happening on your stereo out using the multimeter, seeing, like, sometimes it's really noticeable where it's like, hey, I don't have any frequencies like in this range, and I can see it is a little low in that 500 to 1500 range here. So we could think of something, pick an instrument and then have that instrument targeted in that area to see if it fills out. This also happens a lot when you're building instrumental tracks because you don't have a vocal on it yet. So also you have to keep in mind when the vocal is on there, it will really fill up that, well, 1000 to, you know, depending on how high you go, 2-3K range. And the 500 range too. Yeah, pad strings. It's definitely, we will add the pads and strings, that kind of like texture stuff we'll add at the end, I think, definitely to fill things out. It's a great idea. But I'm thinking like more melodic things right now, so just open up the synth. Just gonna mute some things because sometimes that can be distracting when you're trying to come up with new melodies. But I like this. I know that this melody here, this one, that's kind of really the core, I think. So I know I'll keep that. So I'm going to build around this. But the vocal sample, the guitar, those are all just ideas still. So Alchemy is super cool synth to go through. There are thousands of sounds if you don't have any paid virtual instruments, and use the filters here and try to find something. Oops, it's super loud, but I have my keyboard here. I'm just gonna try to find something that works. So I'll go to leads, soft, pop, simple. Okay, just turn this down a bit. And it's just gonna go down on my keyboard. Not gonna spend too much time because it's super annoying for you guys. First, I'm looking for what sounds cool and not annoying. Then I'll try it out with the track, get a MIDI melody down, and then I'll go back to the sounds to change it if I wasn't sold on the first process. And then you can also dig in on these little pads here. It sounds not bad right now, so I will just try that out. Just loop it here. Gotta get the key again. There, sense. I just need to get the right scale. Something like that, just to fill in. Put these. Just mute these. Let's do some cleaning up here a bit. So just probably do the same thing. Now we hear it in context. Might be too synthy. Okay, so what I'm just doing is trying to fit that in with these. They're quite similar in a way. So what I was trying to do there on the Alchemy Synth was just take some of the reverb away from that synth so it sits more up front, because these other ones have a lot of reverb on. So I'll put that behind this mysterious synth lead. And then I was playing with the delay and the cutoff, seeing if I could push it back more with the delay and also fill up more of the space in between the notes, like here. Gotta keep it going almost in a way. It has this cool panning effect on it too. Just this is like a natural effect that came with Alchemy. But it gets super loud at the end. I think it's this quadratic here you can play with. So yeah, I think that definitely adds something, but it also is getting can get messy when we get to the mixing stage. Yeah, I think the echo is probably too much. It seems to not fit well with these other, these two cheerful melodies that are super wide stereo. They're fighting a bit. Maybe you should just take these out. could help. It's better. I mean, less is always more. It's a good rule of thumb in production. Yeah, I think, Ricardo, you're probably right. Reserve the space for the vox, for the lead vocal. Maybe something a little more pluck, rubber bandy, like something with harder attack and a little decay. Yeah. What do you suggest? What do you think we can go with here? I thought I could do that with the guitars. They're a little more, I mean, with all that reverb, and they're not super attacky anymore. But we could make them more. Just throw a quick compressor on there. Let's just do something basic. It's being cut off too much. Just gonna fade that out. I can bring the guitar back out. Remember when you were famous? Wow, that's very kind. I don't know if I ever will, because who knows if we'll ever get there. But I will remember. Everyone in this knowledge chat will all remember the first day I went live. And I think I'm thinking the guitar could be the plucky part, because I think that is a really good idea. It's missing this like something here. Just like something cool like that. That's how ideas come about, right? Yeah, okay, so maybe we could try that quickly, and then, yeah, let's just give it a shot. I'm just going to look for pick. Yeah, this is the first day live, Mina. That girl. Yeah, first day live. Something plucky. Maybe something with a bit more, some crunch even. All right, let's add a new audio track. Change the inputs. And just get a gain check here. Should be good. Just tune this A string. Ah, it's pretty dead on. That's good enough for jazz. just simple, something simple like that. I think that will just sit nicely. Guitar plucks are always super cool to do. Will you be live more often? I think Charles will say yes. Yeah, I think so, definitely. I think we can expect some more. I hope so. Yes, Mina, thank you for sticking with us. I'll probably lay this guitar track down. We'll take a look at everything, and then maybe we can finish this up in another video. And then maybe we can eventually even mix this song together. Okay, let's just get something in here. If we want to see these ranges, I guess it's not coming in. Let's just try it higher. Last one was better. I'll show you what we can quickly do with this. Let's just merge that there, I think. Okay. Pretty much in time. The guitar's not sounding very good, but it's in time. And this is just the idea. If I'm gonna like go with this idea, I'll re-record it later. And let's just like briefly, quickly lock, like just do a flex. Oops. Actually, I could just move that whole thing over. Gonna just briefly nudge some of these the root transients on the ones. I'm gonna nudge those in time, just so when we are listening to the idea, that it's not like so bad. Okay, that should be fine. I'm gonna put a small reverb on that, and I'll actually run it through probably just a preset. This is actually the free version of Guitar Rig. If you're playing guitar, you can get this free version of Guitar Rig, which is just like modeled amps that you can play your guitars through that sound really good. So this is what this one sounds like. It's a bit crunchier. It's a bit bigger than that. Just gonna take some of that low end out, quick EQ. Not so much, not that much, but just something. Why is it still armed? Electric guitar. Trying to avoid putting too much echo and reverb on everything, because I did chuck a lot of that with the synths and stuff, so I want not everything to be super spacey and dreamy. I do want to find something that can sit up front, and that I believe this is like the constant battle that I do when I'm making instrumental tracks, are missing a vocal. So what I would do now is, like, I'm just going to come up with a vocal, or the next step would be to come up with some type of vocal melody and just lay it over and then work with that, because I'm trying to find that frequency range and something up front. We're missing that boom in your face up front melody, because everything is sitting really nicely and it's spacey. Let's just no, put in the chat like what else if you think we're missing, and what the next steps do you think you would do if you were producing this song. And then let's I think I will take a break and probably finish this in probably the next session, or make a new actual video about it. So let's take a listen. Thanks, by the way, for everyone who's stuck on since the beginning. You guys are like rock stars and stuck with me. Something definitely has to happen more there. I like the bass coming in there, though. We can automate the guitar, I think. I think there's only a few more pieces I think needed until this can be, and then like get the right performance down of everything and then mix it. But I can hear the right, like, it's happening, even though it's like maybe not the right performances of everything, but this is the right kind of vibe. Could add some more elements. That fits in there really nicely if we add more elements that are doing this kind of same pulsing kind of rhythm, and then some transition pieces here, because it just sounds too loopy, too plasticky with this looped guitar. It just sounds too, yeah, not great. So need some more stuff in here to break it up, to make it sound like it's just not the guitar the whole time. And I did say automation because we could like start maybe a bit lower on the guitar and then bring it up, maybe filter it a little bit. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for watching this first live stream. Please subscribe for the next one. I would love for everyone in the knowledge chat to subscribe so I can hope to see you in the next video. And yeah, thanks for watching. Let's see you guys in the next one. But I would name drop a couple people. Thanks like Dakar, Mina, and Furkan, and Kenny earlier, Ricardo, and all you guys, and T in the channel, Jack, Ace, Senses, Colin, if you guys are still around, Michael, Steven, Richard, all you guys. Thanks so much.